And it's just depressing, like, so the recent like boom, let's just say, the response to feminism, the whole boom with the whole MGTOW movement.
Yeah, MGTOW, the manosphere, red pill, blue pill.
All the pills, take as many pills as you want. I don't care, but like, like, it's just interesting to see the response to feminism and all that with all these dudes who are just like, you know what, screw women. Like, if you want to screw women, that's cool, but don't get into relationships with them.
Pump and dump is what they say.
Yeah, smash and dash, all that kind of stuff. But I take a very critical and very sideline kind of approach to things. Like, I like to observe. Okay. And so I like to observe. I've observed feminism and all of the wretchedness that comes with feminism. Not all feminists are wretched, but just
the ones in power.
The ones in power. The ones that drive it. The ones that drive it. You know, again, and the same goes for the MGTOWs. The ones that drive MGTOW, you know, I gotta say, you guys are screwing things up.
There's a pathology within it, right? Yeah. There's a serious pathology within it because anyone who comes to power under any flag, right? Mm-hmm. MGTOW, feminism, we could say the conservatives or the liberals. All of them have truth and ideas and good things. The ones who come to power just seem to really.
Well, yeah, and what it's doing is it's driving a further divide. You just see these groups, the feminism and the feminists and the MGTOWs are just driving farther and farther away from each other.
They're like a bad marriage. They're just reacting to each other in more hateful and hateful things.
It's almost like there's just no end in sight for these people to come together and agree on something anymore. Like, it's just not. I don't see it possible at this point. Especially in this day and age of like YouTube, and you have all these talking heads, and if you go through YouTube comments, I mean, there are some critical thinkers out there, but there's also some people who are like, yeah, I agree 100%, like blah, like.
Well, they're ideologues. People don't have their own thoughts. I don't know if you ever seen the video I did about MGTOW, where I took apart a little bit of the MGTOW, and some of the comments that I got, they were like, it's just amazing. It's like, no, these people can't think for themselves in no way, and they attack women like women are the reason for everything bad. It's like, bro, take some responsibility. You're such a man, take your own responsibility. But I appreciate you're taking yourself out of the gene pool. Like, I can appreciate that. You know, I'm pretty critical about MGTOW. I understand the manosphere. Like, there's some serious problems with men. Like, men are the majority of the suicide rate. Why is that? Men are the majority of the homeless, but they can only go to like one homeless shelter per state. That's not okay. Okay, you know, there's a lot of serious issues with men. For sure, no doubt, and they're not talked about.
Yeah, nobody's claiming to be perfect.
And they're neglected. And, like, look, I'm with you with that because that has to do with physical and mental health. But when they go, like, women are all the problems, or they call women hypergamic, right? That women will always go for the guy with the most money, the most resources. Definitely women like that. 100%. We know they're out there, but then you will say, no, it's not. Every woman isn't a sociopath.
It's not the majority.
Yeah.
Even if it was a majority, say it's 51%, right? All right, so stop going after those women. How about have some self-responsibility? Learn how to choose. Stop blaming other people. It's like we had bad parents, right? Say we had the worst of parents. Yeah, that sucks. Now go make some different choices.
But then you get to a point where you're responsible for yourself.
And that's the worst thing. Because you know what? Freedom is the worst feeling to have because you become responsible for your own choices. And then you have to that's why you have to blame yourself when things go bad.
Yeah.
And that's why we have, most people are ideologues. This group think. Because when you're in a big crowd, right? You're in a big crowd and the crowd breaks stuff and burns cars.
Yeah.
No individual is actually responsible.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. You totally irresponsible. You're not responsible, and you can be irresponsible. So that's why I see with some of the manosphere groups, not everyone in the MGTOW. So they're very extreme, and the same thing in the feminist groups. They're very extreme. They do the same thing, just on the opposite side. Right?
Yeah. I have seen MGTOWs who are very responsible within themselves, and they're very just, you know, go get your money.
Be responsible.
You're
the center of your life. Yeah.
Yeah, like you've probably been hurt by a woman. Like, I get it, you know, and and I get that the movement itself is a response to the feminism movement. I get that.
Yeah.
But at some point, like, get responsible for yourself, but keep an open mind.
Yeah, I think like in the manosphere, I think there's a guy, I think his name is Richard, has entrepreneurs in cars, right? I think he's the most reasonable I've ever seen out of all that whole side. I mean, his big message is you're the center of your life, wear condoms, and don't move in with women if you're not ready, because these are the laws, and this is what the laws will do. He's very reality based, very like the rationale. Like, look, that's really good advice, especially for guys in their 20s. We don't know what the heck.
I'd agree with that advice, even if like you weren't a MGTOW. That's just being responsible.
But the same, he doesn't consider himself MGTOW. He goes more the red pill. But he's like, look, you know, and then he's like, this is how you be an entrepreneur. This is how you build a business. This is how you don't lose your business. You can talk to me if you want. It's going to cost money, you know. But he teaches really good things. Of course, you don't ever agree with someone 100%, but like I said, there are reasonable people within every sphere. Like just like with the feminist sphere, there's some reason. I'm trying to think of the lady that I really like on the feminist side. I think is it Laura Sutherland? Maybe that's not the right person, but there's a speaker. She speaks a lot. It's like, yeah, these things make sense. Of course, there's problems with what's happening with women, right, and how women should deal with relationships and all this stuff. So. And it's hard to find the reasonable people, right? It's hard to find them, and it's hard to stay with them because they're not as shiny as the extremes, right? In that sense,
it's true.
You know, it kind of drives back to the whole. That's a problem with social media is you now have access to these ideologues. You have access to this think sphere, and you can get sucked into it real quick.
Yeah.
No. You know, well, we're all trying to find meaning, right?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that can't just think for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like my whole thing is, just like I was saying earlier, I like to use natural alternatives. Well, that's